Hey y'all, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're making a tater tot casserole. There's a lot of recipes out there for tater tot casseroles, and today I'm going to show you the one that we like the most. So come on, and I'm going to turn you around here and show you what it's going to take for your tater tot casserole. Okay, here's a quick look at the ingredients you're going to need for your tater tot casserole. You'll need your pound of ground beef, 1 package of tater tots. These are the 16-ounce bag. You'll need a cooking spray to spray your dish with, 1 cup of beef broth, a half a cup of milk, 1 to 1.5 cups of cheddar cheese or any cheese you choose, 2 ounces of cream cheese. And right down here we'll have 1 teaspoon of minced garlic, 1 teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce, a teaspoon of black pepper, a teaspoon of salt, a tablespoon of garlic powder, 1 medium purple onion, and 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour. So now let's turn around here and get started on our tater tot casserole. Before you get started, preheat your oven to 350. Okay, to start your casserole, first you're going to need to cook your ground beef and your onions and your mixture up top. So you'll be needing a skillet to cook it in. Turn your heat on a medium-low. And depending on what kind of ground beef you're going to be using, you may need to add a little oil to your pan so your ground beef don't burn if it don't have a lot of fat in it and make its own oil while it's cooking. But this one right here is 7327. This is the one Travis and myself we like to use, and this is what he buys. So it does have some fat in it, so I won't be adding oil to the pan this time. All right, so we're going to go ahead now and get that inner skillet. And now we'll just get that chopped up so it can start cooking. And you can tell my skillet's already hot. We let it preheat just a few minutes before we put our beef in there. We're just letting that ground beef get done before we add our onions. Now, there's a lot of recipes out there for tater tot casseroles. And you can even add corn and green beans to them, or any kind of vegetable that you have that you need to use up. That could go in a tater tot casserole. But I like doing it this way because we like to eat our green beans on the side instead of mixing them in all together. But some people do like to add their vegetables inside the casserole. And that could be a one-pot meal. Have everything in one pot. But today, I'm not going to add vegetables to this one. We're just going to do a old-fashioned tater tot casserole. Okay, right here we have our meat almost done. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add my 1 medium onion. And we're going to let that start cooking down with that ground beef inside that oil that's coming off of that beef. But if your beef is not putting off much oil, just don't let it burn. So put you something in there that you can still fry the beef and let the onions have time to cook. Okay, at this point you can tell my onions are starting to turn a translucent color. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add my minced garlic, my Worcestershire sauce, and my salt and pepper and garlic powder. And now we're just going to give that a mix. Okay, now we're going to take and make it a little spot right there, and we're going to add our flour. And you can see that I have a little bit of oil from my ground beef still. So I have the oil to cook my flour in. If you don't, just add you a little bit to it. But we're going to go ahead now and add our 1/4 cup of flour. And now we're just going to get that mixed in so that flour can start cooking down. And cook this for around 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, now that you've cooked your flour for around 2 to 3 minutes, we're going to go ahead now and we're going to add our milk. And that's whole milk, a 1/2 cup of whole milk. And then we're going to add our 1 cup of beef broth. And this right here is what's going to make your sauce and have it the creaminess just like it would if you used the cream of mushroom or either the cream of celery or cream of chicken. But we're not going to be using a can of cream of mushroom today. We're making our own sauce for our tater tot casserole. Okay, and now to the sauce, we're going to add our 2 ounces of our cream cheese. And we're just going to let that start melting down in that sauce. And just start, as it starts melting, just break it up and get it blended in good. See how it's already turning your sauce a white look? The creaminess to it. Okay, now we're just going to let this sit over here and simmer and cook for around 10 minutes while we're getting the other pan ready, the casserole dish. Okay, the next step is you'll be needing a casserole dish, and this is a 9 by 9. Make sure you spray whichever size pan you use real good with cooking spray so your mixture don't stick. You could use a 13 by 9 if you go with like 2 pounds of ground beef, or 1.5 pounds would fit in a 13 by 9. But we just went with 1 pound, so a 1 pound recipe should fit in a 9 by 9. So now let's spray it good so it don't stick. And we're just using some canola spray. And now we've got to grate us around 1.5 cups of cheese. And this is cheddar cheese. And this makes any casserole extra, has a sharper taste. Cheddar cheese does. The cream cheese is over here and it's melted good and it's just simmering and getting ready for the casserole. Now our mixture is ready, and now we're going to pour this mixture in our casserole dish that we sprayed. And we'll just spread that out. Okay, and now once I get it in the casserole dish, I'm going to put just a small layer of the cheddar cheese on top of this mixture. And now we're going to add our tater tots to it. I have seen where some people mix the tater tots down in it, but I like putting them on top. And it sort of makes it like a crust. Just line them up in there. And at this point, make sure your oven is preheating to 350 still, if you hadn't already. We'll get them all in there because I don't want to waste any of them. I've got just a few more. Just squeeze them in there where you can. Okay, I've got one or two, but they are broke up, so we won't use the rest of them. And now we'll take our remaining of the cheddar cheese and we're going to just cover the whole top. I'm putting a little bit extra because we like it cheesy. I want it good and coated with the cheddar cheese. And now we're going to put it in the oven and we're going to bake it on 350 for 35 minutes or until the top is golden brown. Now let's check our casserole and see what it's looking like, if it's almost done. It's getting there. I'm going to let it get just a little bit more browner, but I wanted to show y'all how making your own sauce instead of using cream of mushroom, your casserole is not dry. You still have like that gravy sauce that you made on your ground beef. So now we're going to put it back in there for around 3 more minutes. I want my cheese to be a golden brown. Okay, now we're going to check it once more and see if it's a little brown. Yep, I'm going to leave it just like that. I like to get it a little golden brown because I like my tater tots to have a little crunch to them. And you can see right through that cheese a little that my tater tots are crispy. Okay, we'll let that cool a few minutes and then I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, we'll go ahead now and serve us up some and let you see what they look like once they come out. This right here is what a tater tot casserole looks like when you make your own sauce and you don't use cans of cream of mushroom. You can make it yourself at home and it's just as good and just as creamy as using cream of mushroom. Okay everybody, that's our video on a tater tot casserole, the old-fashioned way, without using cans of soup. So I hope y'all like this video, and if you like it, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe if you hadn't already. Thanks for watching.